situation is way worse. Congratulations to everybody involved trying to get Jimbo this new deal. We're excited that it's happening, and it should be announced here soon. Hopefully the Board of Regents will get that done here in the very near future. But everybody out there on social media, I'm seeing words like perplexed, confused. Why are you confused to pay a guy market value for being one of the top coaches in all of the country, as opposed to paying guys that sucked at their job way more money? Here's an idea. You go to a restaurant that's average and you pay $15 for terrible food, or you pay $19 for great food. Ta-da! You go with the great food. We start the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan, our Heisman Trophy voter and good friend. And yesterday he was a winner of the Heisman Trophy. Good morning to you, Olin.
Yeah. Hey, where do I get that great $19 meal?
Well,
I'm joking. I know where you're going with that. I understand. You know what I get frustrated with is the national media. I knew the national media was going to come after A&M when the news was announced, or when it got out that Jimbo Fisher was going to get an extension and a raise. You never see him go after, say, what has he won?
Right.
Well, you mean besides a national championship? What was he done at A&M? You mean besides get them to finish their highest finish in the AP poll since 1939? And do they ever go after Lincoln Riley? I know he's won the Big 12, but so what? Do they ever go after Ryan Day? I know he's won the Big 10, but so what? They find the coaches they like, the guy at Cincinnati, Luke Fickell, and they pump them up, and it's always an attack on A&M.
Always.
And it's not your money, so why do you care? And quite frankly, is it really that unusual for a coach to get an extension and a raise for doing a good job?
Yeah, he's doing now. People are going to say, "Well, he already had a 10-year deal. What do you haven't won any conference championships? Blah 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 blah." Hold on, how many conference championships has Texas won since 2009?
None.
Okay. How much are they paying right now for their coach? I think it's over $20 million if you combine Sark and what they're paying Herman and his staff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, they pay a lot. But I don't know.
Quinn Ewers just signed a deal for, what is it, $1.5 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Based on potential. He should be going to prom this year.
Right.
He's going to be a millionaire for not doing anything at the collegiate level. And you know what? Congratulations, kid. That's awesome. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
All right. Guess what? Jimbo's won. He's won at the very highest level you can win at. Has he done that at Texas A&M yet? No. Are we on our way? Absolutely. And it infuriates me that people are spending our money, and our money, it's not even my money. This is like Monopoly. This is not our money. This is a school that is making a commitment and sending that notice to all the recruits out there. And people are saying, why do you have to do it now? Why do you care? Pay your coach.
Well, if they did it at another time, then they'd criticize it then. And I knew that was going to be the case, but I always wonder why. These are the same guys that were pumping up Willie Taggart.
Yep.
Pumping up Scott Frost. So I take it with a grain of salt. Actually, we should all take the approach that, that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, we did.
Does it make you mad? Good.
Good.
Because you know what? We don't care what you think.
I don't care, and I care. I care only because they come in our mentions and they come out, it's stupid A&M. If we're that stupid, why are we consistently getting a top 10 class, and we're going to do it again and again? And we expect to have 3 to 5 first-rounders this year. And national pundits for the first time ever are saying, well, maybe Jimbo's going to beat Nick this year. Maybe he's going to do it. Maybe he's going to be the first assistant coach to beat him. So Gil on the message boards put this graphic up. I'm just going to read you a couple of the things. Willie Taggart's initial buyout, $4.4 million. His salary, $10 million. Firing buyout, $18 million. Okay? So his yearly average is $16.2 million. This is the guy who replaced Jimbo at Florida State. Do you think that's a bargain, or do you think that's a lot of money?
Well, that's a lot of money.
Okay, let me give you another
Foolishly
one.
spent.
Scott Frost, currently the coach of Nebraska. Initial buyout, $3 million. Total salary, $20 million. Firing buyout, $15 million. Total buyout or payout, $38 million. Yearly average, $9.5 million. Huh. He's not doing really well in Nebraska, is he?
No. And, it's funny. Is there more?
I can give you a couple more. Here. Tom Herman, are you familiar with him?
I am. He's a Mensa guy.
Okay. The initial buyout, not too bad, $2 million. Total salary, $22 million. Firing buyout, $15 million. Total payout, $39 million. 4 seasons at a yearly average of $9.8 million. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and I really get disappointed when guys I respect, like Ivan Maisel, take shots at A&M for this. For giving Fisher a raise and an extension, because all the things you just read, he should be. Look, if Barrett Sallee is critical, I get it. I don't have as much respect for him. I don't think he's as well schooled in what's going on in college football. I think he's just a guy that pops off, but I get disappointed when someone that should know better.
Yeah. Ivan Maisel's been a great reporter. I understand that he's got some, opinions about A&M or whatnot, has been critical. But just do a little research, buddy. Like, in perspective, what is a better business? And people are saying, why do you have to give him a contract? Well, let me paint a doomsday scenario that we discussed on this show before that I don't think was ever going to happen, but you have to prepare yourself. If LSU were to fire Coach O, what do you think?
Which isn't that far-fetched.
No, it's probably going to happen. You think they're going to try to at least call Jimbo?
Well, Scott Woodward already did it once.
Why wouldn't he do it again? Now, I'm not saying Jimbo would have gone there, but that's what you're trying to stop from happening before this contract. And by the way, this has been whispered and discussed for a while. Now that it's official, oh my goodness, what were they going to pay him? He should be paid as one of the top 3 or 4 coaches in college football. That's what he should be paid.
Well, I know that the guy at Michigan State, Mel Tucker, who was at Colorado for like a year and then left, I can't tell you what his salary is. I know it's, like all college football coaches, it's gaudy. And quite frankly, he's failed so far. Now, doesn't mean he won't get things turned around, but, that's what I would look at. Who's paying a lot of money for, for no return? In fact, I think it was last year or the year before, I did an article where I actually found, all the Power 5 coaches' salaries and divided it by how many wins they've had. And quite frankly, Jimbo at that time was right in the middle of the pack. So he was a kind of a bargain.
Yep. I think it's ridiculous. And it's just people have to get likes and retweets and have these opinions. And I don't understand why you're paying him this. It's ridiculous. We're going to talk to Billy Liucci about it here at around 8:20 or so. So let's go around the room and see if everybody else is upset. Dalton, good morning to you, sir.
I'm good. I'm not upset. I would take some of that money if y'all got any extra.
So do you think – now, Dalton, we could probably pay you a little bit more. But if we put everybody's salary out there in the world, do you think all these people are complaining? If we saw what all these –
I mean, if everybody saw what Olin made, they don't call it Olin Buchanan money for nothing.
OB money, making it rain.
Yeah, making it rain in the desert.
By the way, if you want to chime in, I have a question for the day, by the way. I used, by the way, 3 times in a minute. What are your thoughts on Jimbo's new reported deal? I thought this was going to be a fun conversation, but I got angry when I started reading social media and people that I respect out there. People who have come on this show are like surprised and perplexed. It just caught me off guard. We're here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We now go to the News and Social Center Anna Rosa Peterson joining us. Good morning to you, Anna.
Good morning. Yeah, thankfully, I'm very refreshed by our text line as we're getting a lot of positive feedback rather than what we're seeing on social media. But yeah, the topic, what are your thoughts on Jimbo's new and reported deal? We're already getting a lot of feedback. Lance in Round Mountain says, I'm ecstatic about Texas A&M stepping up and taking care of Jimbo Fisher with a long-term contractual agreement that will keep him in Aggieland for several more years. Without a doubt, Jimbo is one of the top football coaches in America, and anyone that has scoffed at his hiring or compensation package simply doesn't understand how important he is to a football program.
Let me chime in here real quick, because is he overpaid for a coach? If we're talking about like jobs that matter in life, I understand that little conversation. Well, if he was a doctor, he should, or if he was a teacher. Okay, that's not how it works. There's a certain amount of money that goes to our entertainment purposes, and people spend a lot of money in college football. And this is what the payments are. This is what people make. Okay? Now, is he good? He's what, number 2 now when it's all said and done, correct?
In the SEC.
In the SEC? Okay. Should he be number 2 in the SEC? I think so.
I have no problem with it. I mean, Nick Saban makes what, $11 million, and rightly so. I don't know what Orgeron's making. He has the national championship. He also has last year's debacle.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll put it this way, and I mean this. I don't know what coach other than Nick Saban in the SEC I'd rather have leading my program. I mean, maybe I think Dan Mullen's a good coach.
He hasn't done anything.
Kirby Smart has recruited well, but he's had some game day decisions that'll make you scratch your head, and he has won a conference championship, but I'll still take Jimbo Fisher.
Let me ask you this. Does Kirby win all those conference championship if he's in the West?
Of course not.
Okay. To me, that is all part of the conversation piece. Everybody was trying to beat Belichick. Eventually, Tom Brady retired, or moved on, I should say, and things have changed there. And by the way, they released Cam Newton yesterday. Saban is the top dog. We have a guy on his heels that we believe this year will probably get it done at Kyle Field. And if he doesn't, okay, then it's next year, because the trajectory, that's the thing that people forget. Where is this program headed? Where are the recruits coming from? How are the victories happening? Now, if this year turns out to be horrendous, which it won't be, then you can start these conversations. This year is going to be glorious. Regardless, a bad year this year is what? What would you consider it? 9 wins would be a bad year?
9 wins would be disappointing. 8 wins would be a bad year.
Okay, so 9 wins would be disappointing. Look how great that sounds.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, that's where you've gotten with Jimbo Fisher, where 9 wins is a disappointment, except for last year, of course.
Right,
and
90% wins.
Year, yeah.
All right, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can do it 979-693-1150. That is the BCSI hotline, which Billy Liucci is going to be on here momentarily. And you can also text us on the AMB text line. Let's get some more specifics and talk it out with executive editor and co-owner of TexAgs, Billy Liucci, next on TexAgs Radio.
Find out first, get scores, updates, and more. Follow the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM on Twitter. Zone 1150.
Howdy, I'm Hunter Shurtleff of the Shurtleff Law Firm. Choosing the best attorney for your case is the first important decision you must make. You should expect your lawyer to meet with you personally, answer your calls, and guide you through our complex legal system. For over 20 years, my clients have trusted me to handle their civil trial cases in state and federal court. I've represented Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, and individuals just like you who need help. Whether you've been injured or your business is being threatened, you need a lawyer, and I can help. To find out more about me and my law firm and how to schedule an appointment, go to bcsattorney.com.
When seconds matter in the game, every single decision made can mean a big win or a frustrating loss. When it comes to buying your next home and selling your existing home in the current market, every decision can mean serious money. Aggie fans, it's Dave South, and as you know, I've studied the best players and the best teams to represent our A&M family. One thing I've learned over the years, the best coaches have the respect of their team and the 12th man, you, the fans. In Bryan College Station, no realtor has more 5-star reviews on Google than Lance Lester and his team at the Lester Group. Why is is that? Simple. No one offers more options that benefit you. If you want to buy your next home before you sell your current home, Lance can help you do that. If you want to know the date and price that you can count on your home selling for, Lance can guarantee it in writing. When the game is on the line, you want a leader with a proven track record calling the shots. Get your home sold faster and for the most money. Work with my friend Lance Lester and the Lester Group. Go to thelestergroup.com. That's thelestergroup.com and experience lightning in a bottle selling your home.
Here's Brad Beard of Intercon.
If you have considered replacing the windows in your brick veneer home, you may have been told that it would be necessary to either remove the brick or tear up the inside of your window box. You need to know that Intercon replaces windows and brick every day, and we don't tear up anything except the window which is being removed. By installing windows every day, Intercon personnel have worked out methods which result in the replacement windows being at least as neat and effectively installed as your windows were when they were new. This means that Intercon can furnish and install replacement windows which exceed today's tighter standards for efficiency. They look and perform just as well as the best windows in brand new homes. Call Intercon or visit our showroom and we will furnish you customer references for homes you can look at and homeowners you probably know who can tell you that Intercon can solve your window problems without wrecking your home or your budget, just as we did theirs. Intercon will furnish a free quote and we won't pressure you to buy.
Whether you have new construction or an existing home, let the fine folks from Intercon help your home energy efficiency year-round. Call Brad Beard of Intercon today at 823-3639. That's 823-3639.
You can listen to Aggie football, basketball, and baseball on your Amazon Dot or Echo. Step 1, say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Step 2, anytime you want to hear fighting Texas Aggie football, Texas A&M women's basketball, or Aggie baseball, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Zone 1150. It's that simple to listen to your favorite A&M teams that play on the Zone with your Amazon Dot or Echo. Make sure to say one time, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Then say, Alexa, play Zone 1150.
All right, we're just reading what people are saying, getting more angry, but also getting excited. Jimbo Fisher's going to get that new deal here real soon. It is TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And let's go to the BCSI hotline, joined by Billy Liucci, executive editor and co-owner of TexAgs. Billy, good morning.
Morning, Nuño.
So, instead of me being angry to start the segment with what people are saying and whatnot, let's start off with the good news. Talk to us a little bit about how the details have come in and what Jimbo's deal is going to look like and why this is a great move for Texas A&M.
Well, I think you're just going to see it go. It's going to be 10 years, a 10 again from now, and about average right around $9 million a year. So he's basically starting the existing deal over with a raise, with a significant raise to push him to right there as the second highest paid coach in the Southeastern Conference behind Nick Saban and one of the highest in all of college football. I think would that put him at second or third overall?
Probably third. I think Dabo's still. I don't know what Dabo's salary is, but
I think you're right.
But I think it's close to 10.
I think you're right. I think it's third. But and so, I mean, man, I think that's a great. We're going to look at this again as a great bargain. Now, I feel like people just, they had. We've been talking about it for the last 3 years, and how people still can't get over how wrong they were about it the first time, and now they're doing it again. They don't. There's a lot they just don't, in my opinion, don't seem to understand. Starting with the no buyout thing, that part makes me laugh. The no buyout, like the buyout is $9 million a year. The buyout is $90 million guaranteed. That's the buyout. Like, no, they just priced their way right on up out of the mark. Alabama. Is that the one school now that you would ever worry about coming in? And here's the thing about Alabama. A, Nick Saban doesn't look like he's ready to retire anytime soon. B, if he does, and they come after Jimbo, then, if they come after him, let's say it's 3 years from now, right? If they come after Jimbo Fisher in 3 years, Alabama, after what Nick Saban's done, and that's who they decided they were going to go after. And I'm using them as an example because it's really the only school that could do it at this point with the money A&M's paying. If they came and said, we have to get him, he's the guy. If they're doing that, that means that the next 3 years are going to have been really, really good in Aggie land, right?
Yep.
And counting last year. So you'd have a 4-year run of excellence in College Station. Do you think $9 million is where A&M's going to stop? Like, and that's just the one school that I think that they haven't completely priced out of it. That's even remotely. So my point is, the buyout is the $9 million. That's the barrier to entry that everyone thinks is that a buyout does. Buyout does nothing. When's the last time a school didn't hire a coach they desperately wanted, especially in football, because of a buyout? Let's seriously think about this. You're talking about A&M right now, $90 million they've committed. You think a 1-year buyout, another $9 million, is going to would keep A&M from going and getting the guy they wanted, or any school? It's the 90. It's not the 6, 7, 8, 9 million. It's the 90 million that's keeping them out. Because it's not keeping them out. It's keeping. Well, yes, it's keeping them out. So they can't get them. It's also keeping the coach from wanting to leave. It's kind of like the Southeastern Conference, right? There's no grand rights in the SEC. You want to go find somewhere else? Go. We're pretty confident you're not going to want to do that. And that's where Texas A&M is at with Jimbo right now.
So, Billy, do you think the primary motivation for this deal and this extension is to reward Fisher for a job well done, or, like you're just talking about, to make sure that he can't be lured somewhere else? And is there any danger of that?
I don't think there's any danger. You know, the danger is just, here's the danger. It's just losing money is the danger. If it doesn't work and you lose money, and everybody's making such a big deal of that, it's just like me looking at you, Olin, we live in the same neighborhood. It's like if I walked around the other day and saw you driving a Maserati, that's your business how you spend your money. Mm-hmm. But it's like me walking around and then going to next door to old Festivus over here with Steve-O and say, man, can you believe Olin? How stupid is that to go buy a Maserati? What an idiot. And I go to the next person and I'm walking around the whole neighborhood talking about how ridiculous you buying a Maserati is. Who's the idiot here? Is it you for getting the car you wanted with your money, or is it me running around not stop talking about it and complaining about it? I mean, so the risk is just losing money and making a really bad investment. They're 3 years into this, so they've got a pretty damn good idea what they're investing in. And here's the deal. It is rewarding him for a job well done. And some will say, well, it's only 1 year, but it's not. Like, here's the thing. It's 1 year. It's one great year. It's 3 years of progress. I saw one of these jackasses. You know, the Longhorns are particularly jackassy about this, as you would expect. But I saw one of them kind of do they're comparing to, what coaches have done at their current school. Dabo, Nick Saban, Edo. So here's the funny thing about that. You're going to conveniently leave off Jimbo's, like his resume and just say what he's done to A&M. He's been in A&M 3 years. One of those 3 years was a nice, strong first season at A&M, right? We all watched that. We knew A&M was a good football team, finished ranked, won a bowl game, was playing great football at the end of the year, beat LSU, romped through a bowl game. So 1 year was really good. The third year was a top 5 finish, an Orange Bowl championship, and a legitimate argument to be in the college football playoff. Okay, so the guy's been a head coach for how many years is it, Olin?
12.
12 years. He's got a national title. He's got a second playoff berth, and he's got a top 5 finish. And I don't know where they finished the year before they went to that playoff, where I think they were like 11-2. He's probably got 5 top 10 finishes in 12 years, if I were to guess. And so in a national title, and a playoff, and an Orange Bowl championship, like at what point do you not look at that whole resume, including what he's done at A&M, and say this is an elite coach, one of the best in the game? He is. It's not debatable. It's not up for debate. So Texas A&M has a coach that is among the very best, easily among the top 5 in this game. He's coming off a top 5 season. His last recruiting classes have been number 3, number 6, number 7, and this one's probably going to be back into that top 5. If you look at that and you don't feel really confident and really secure in your investment, then I don't think you're paying attention. And it's like, who are you going to go hire any time in the next 5 years that you think's better than that? Right. People were making a big deal about the initial contract. We're 3 years in, and it looked like such a damn bargain that A&M didn't blink about extending it. And everybody's worried about, well, why'd they do it before the season? Why couldn't you wait to see what happened this year? I get that part. But you also don't want to negotiate during the season. Coaches don't want to do that, even though it's usually the agents doing it, but they don't want to mess with it. And if you'd have looked up, and Texas A&M reached a college football playoff this year, and LSU spiraled, and Edo left, or it's twofold, Olin, to go back to your question. It's twofold, and I think what they did was the right thing, and I think they've got there, like, we got our guy, and now they've got him completely locked up for as long as he wants to coach, really.
Liucci, a couple questions here. So why do people not make a big deal about Dan Mullen's extension and Jim Harbaugh's extension and other people who haven't had the success that Jimbo has had at A&M in really the same amount of time?
You know what, David? By the way, nor have they had the kind of success Jimbo Fisher has had, period. That's again, this guy won a national title. He won 27 of 28 games with Jameis in those 2 years. And then people go, well, it's Jameis. Well, you don't take away a guy's best player and then revisit his resume. I mean, so outside of Nick Saban, I mean, you take away Vince Young, what did Mac Brown do? He went to a title game with Colt, but he didn't win one. You take away, Joe Burrow, then Ed O's not on that list. You take away Dak Prescott for Dan Mullen, what has he ever done? So, yeah, we could go up and down that list, right? But, I haven't read, I haven't read all the details of Mullen and Harbaugh, so you guys probably know this more than me. So I don't know. What are people tripping out about? Is it the guaranteed money?
I think
the 90.
I'm sorry, Bill. I think it's because we're doing it now. After year 3, he hasn't done anything to deserve a new deal, is what the people are saying out there after only 3 years of a 10-year deal.
Well, here's the thing. I know what Mullen's done, and I know what Harbaugh's done. So what did either of them, I don't know whether they got extended after year 1, 2, 3, or 4. Mullen's only been there that long. So what in the hell have they done that Jimbo hasn't done? Particularly Harbaugh, but Mullen, what has he done?
Mullen got his extension this year.
Yeah, he won a New Year's Six. And I think Mullen Florida caught a little criticism for that, but it was nothing like this. Because I think with this, David, first of all, I think it shows you how big the spotlight is on Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher now. For all that everybody wants to make a big deal of about how A&M, the big thing that people try to do is say A&M's not relevant. They're not a global brand. They're not the brand. You hear all this crap, guys. You're hearing it from Texas and OU, and to a lesser extent LSU. It's three really, really whining fan bases. Oklahoma, a bunch of faux tough guys. So you say one thing positive about your school or anything that Oklahoma perceives negative, they go insane. Somebody asked me yesterday, would you rather have Jimbo Fisher or Lincoln Riley at A&M? I said, at A&M, I'd much rather have Jimbo Fisher. And I think Lincoln Riley's a really good coach, who, by the way, has gotten his ass handed to him every time he's gone to the playoffs, plays in a conference where he's got 5 times the talent as every team he plays in that league, save maybe Texas, who hasn't even been good since he's been coaching. And you have Jimbo Fisher, who walked into the SEC probably with 6, 5, 6, 7, 8 ranked talent out of 14 when he got here. Probably, Ryan, just say upper middle of the pack, maybe, when he got here. And it completely apples to oranges on that comparison. But I will say they're both really good coaches. I think for Texas A&M, better fit Jimbo Fisher, no question about it. And then you've got the Texas fan base, who they're just probably the most delusional fan base in all of American sports. So you've got them. They're really loud on Twitter. They make very little sense a lot of times. You got some Longhorn fans that I think are reasonable and rational, but then you got some of them that they get these talking points, and no matter how bad their football team is, and no matter how good things are going in College Station, they can't come off of the talking points. And some of them are some of the weakest garbage I've ever seen. They're a program that spent, I don't know, $75 million or so to fire Herman and hire Steve freaking Sarkisian. Sark, I mean, not to make light of what happened to him, but we all know how his career arc has gone as a head coach, and you're going to criticize Jimbo Fisher and micro it down to say, well, he hasn't won a title at A&M in 3 years. He hasn't won a conference title or a division title. Okay, guys, Alabama's over there. So the school that spent about $75 million to hire Steve Sarkisian, so they're making a lot of noise about it, and LSU's just scared. Okay, and I know the people in Baton Rouge would laugh at that, but they know it's true. Okay, LSU has just been beaten. They had an amazing year, and they smoked the Aggies in Death Valley, and that should be payback for A&M this year. That should be a priority. But the Aggies have won 2 out of 3 over LSU after losing 6, 7 straight with the head coach that LSU tried to hire twice. And then that's also the head coach that so many of them were so sure they were going to hire if the guy that none of them like right now, because they're starting to realize, and they knew it before and they know it now, he's a train wreck in Ed O. And now A&M just put up a wall around College Station. So LSU fans are just upset that they don't have him. That's the other part of it. And then finally, you get the Texas fans. The other thing, what was the other thing they continuously say is that they'll point to LSU. A day ago, David, Olin, what was the big cry coming out of Austin and Baton Rouge and Norman? I kept reading it. Oh, he'll be at LSU in a year or two. He'll be at A&M lands a 5-star recruit. Oh, he'll switch when he's at LSU, or that was the battle cry. They wouldn't shut up about it. 3 fan bases wouldn't shut up about Jimbo Fisher to LSU. Now today, 10 years and $90 million later, now they won't shut up that A&M was silly for paying him. The whole thing. Which one is it? If he was going to LSU, according to you morons, and now he's not, so now they have to have another target. It's a constant moving target, but I think what it shows today, the reaction compared to the reaction to extending Mullen, who has done his resume as a head coach doesn't compare to Jimbo Fisher's. Resume at the current school looks remarkably similar. The only difference is Mullen won 2 New Year's Sixes because he doesn't play Alabama and Clemson. Those were 2 additional losses that Jimbo Fisher had in each of his first 2 years that he had to have, because any coach in college football in those 2 years, except, I guess, if you were winning a national title in your first 2 years at A&M, you were going to be 0-4 in those games, basically. That's why Mullen had 2 New Year's Sixes and Jimbo only had 1. But the reason the outcry was so much more, hold on, Dave, forget Louis for a second. The reason that outcry was so much more was because A&M is that relevant and people are that concerned and interested and in some cases worried about what Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher are doing. Now let's go to break.
Thank you, Billy. You're the best, brother. Thanks for calling. We'll see you Friday.
All right, guys.
Later, man. Billy Liucci here. Program director, executive editor, our boy, breaking it all down. All right, all guests here on TexAgs Radio are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, are brought to you by the BCS Eye Associates Hotline. Let Dr. K take care of you right here in the BCS. We'll be right back.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. BCS Habitat for Humanity is hosting its annual Tees for Keys golf tournament Monday, September 13th at the Traditions Club. Tickets are online at habitatbcs.org. The Brazos Valley Council of Governments announces an Alzheimer's Dementia Caregiver Support Series running through September 14th. Classes are free. Find more information online at bvcog.org. The Brazos Valley Beekeepers Association invites you to their one-day bee school on Saturday, September 25th. Visit bvbeaks.org for more information. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. You can hear Aggie football take on Kent State starting this Saturday at 6 here on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Join Andrew Monaco, Dave Almendorf, and Will Johnson all season long for Aggie football here on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Hey, it's David Nuño. Texas known for football, barbecue, and hot summer temperatures. And typically, the hotter the weather, the higher your electricity bill. But with some help from Energy Ogre, a Texas technology company, you can lower your bill by up to 40%. In fact, we signed up 2 years ago, and they saved my family 35%. Energy Ogre will find you the cheapest electricity plan in your area. Manage all future contracts, saving you time and money. Go to EnergyOgre.com and enter code HOWDY for a free month of service. That's EnergyOgre.com to start saving today.
Howdy, this is Brad Beard with Intercon. You would not buy a car, boat, or major appliance if the warranty only covered material, leaving you to pay labor, freight, and other charges. So don't make the same mistake when making a window or glass purchase. With many players in the window industry, limited warranties are truly limited. At Intercon, the warranties we provide cover 100% of the cost and get the product performing as it should. The labor and freight charges on other vendors' warranties can add up to hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Ask questions about other warranties offered. What costs are not covered? Are they transferable? What happens if a vendor goes out of business? Intercon does not represent any fly-by-night manufacturers who change their name and product line continually. We have long-standing relationships with our vendors and offer the best warranties in the business. Years down the road, Intercon will still be in the Brazos Valley, making sure the product we sold you lives up to expectations. Call Intercon and get the best product at the best price with the best service.
When it comes to windows for your most valuable asset, trust your local friends and neighbors from Intercon. Call Brad Beard with Intercon at 823-3639. That's 823-3639 for Intercon today.
You can hear Astros baseball on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, plus Gospel 97.3 FM. Astros baseball on Ryan Broadcasting is brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer. Listen in as the Astros contend for the AL West title. Listen in as the Astros battle for the best record in the American League. Listen in as the Astros contend for another World Series title. Astros baseball on the Zone and Gospel 97.3 FM is brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer and in part by First Financial Bank.
I see you dancing, Olin. It's TexAgs Radio. Presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, 911 University Drive, East in College Station. Shop online at davidgardnersjewelers.com. I am David Nuño. He is Olin Buchanan. It's the Go Hour. Short segment here. Liucci went off in that last segment, and I enjoyed it. And Obi, you had a lot of thoughts. You were ready to get in there. We just had to go to break, though.
Well, I was going to ask Billy if I had an opportunity what he thought about the fact that Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC reportedly is going to increase the individual teams' payout by $20 million plus.
Right.
So therefore, can't you just say that Texas and Oklahoma are actually going to be paying the bonus or the raise for Jimbo Fisher?
Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Norman.
Yeah. So if you gotta take on these, the spoiled little brother that you have to take with you, well, it might as well, take their money to or use their membership to give you the money to pay your coach that's going to beat them.
If you got to drive him to the movies, they might as well buy you that Maserati.
Yeah, you know what? A&M should just get in their Maserati, give a one-finger salute, and drive into the sunset.
Not a Trans Am, though. A Maserati.
A Maserati.
Let's do it.
Take the Trans Am to Dallas.
Hey, and I've decided, Olin, I'm going to be in a good mood now. Moving forward, rest of the well, I can't guarantee that. For the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to rejoice that we have a university that is willing to pay top dollar for a top coach and send a signal out to recruits and the current team right now and every administration out there. We believe in our guy who's going to be here a long time and bring us national championships and in the conversation forever.
I wonder if Jimbo Fisher could take some of that money and start a business, whatever, his cattle business, and then pick out a player, Harold Perkins, and say, I need you to be a spokesman for my cattle business.
Hey, look, we are in a very good place for obvious reasons. And by the way, people have texted in, hey, it's game week. We're getting this done right before Kent State, right? So this is done. I say we like I'm part of the administration. Well,
you're an Aggie.
I'm an Aggie, and I'm proud of it. But again, it is not our money. It's not coming out of my pocket. It's not coming out of your pocket.
It's what Texas and Oklahoma are gifting us.
Texas and Oklahoma are helping us pay our guy the right amount of money while they're having to pay their guy, or at least at Texas. And look, it's $2 million more per year than Dan Mullen. I think $2 million's worth a national championship. That's just me.
I think that $2 million is obviously a huge amount of money.
Sure.
But it makes me laugh. So, is it if it was $1 million more?
Would it be okay then?
Yeah.
Look, people just look for a reason to clown and be upset, and they're just looking for reasons.
Well, it's because A&M is the guy that's entering the stodgy country club that you're like, well, this country club is for us, and said, no, I actually made this money, and I'm coming from a different direction. So I'm in the country club now, like it or not, and they don't like it.
You know what it reminds me of? That example, when Mark Cuban took over for the Dallas Mavericks as the owner, and the way the other owners looked at him. This guy wears jeans and a T-shirt to work, and Mark's like, yeah, I'm here. Well, guess what? Texas A&M's here, and we're here to stay, and we've got the right coach, and I believe that across all sports.
Cuban has a championship too.
I'm sorry?
Cuban has a championship.
He does have a championship. It took him a little bit to get there. And he made some moves that people wondered about. He got that championship.
Yeah.
We've got our Jimbo. All right, right now, a moment for the Association of Former Students. We had Catherine Greenway in the studio yesterday. It's great to talk to her. Really enjoyed the conversation. Aggie Park's going to be great. Ring Day is going to be awesome. And everything that they do is possible because of your help, guys. Over 140 years, financial gifts from us, the Aggie Network, have empowered the association to be here, there, and everywhere for Texas A&M and Texas Aggies out there. And they have been involved in so many different platforms and areas of health with Student Muster Committee, the Aggie Band for Travel, Corps of Cadets Visitor Center, ROTC departments, Parsons Mounted Cavalry. I got to say it like that. And, of course, none of this would be possible without your help out there. $100 a year, roughly, $9 a month. You get the decal, the plaque, and the Texas Aggie magazine. And you're continuing in the oldest, most inspiring tradition of Aggies helping other Aggies. To learn more about the impact of the association, get involved or make a gift, visit aggienetwork.com/giving.
Your home for Texas A&M women's basketball is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone. The Zone.
Ryan Bryant Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long. Thanks to Frost Bank, Ed Phillips Plumbing, Rapid Express Car Wash, and ASAP Equipment. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Presented by Polaris Fund Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country. And Aggie Land is SEC Country too. Jones Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on The Zone.
People join Walk MS to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. MS attacks the brain and spinal cord. It's the most common neurological disease leading to disability in young adults. Walk MS brings communities together, creating teams with friends, loved ones, and coworkers to rally around those we care about and end MS forever. Join us. Together we are stronger. Walk MS fundraising accelerates research breakthroughs and life-changing breakthroughs. It will take all of our passion, determination, and fundraising to end MS forever. Together, we can change the world for people with MS. Join us. Register today, start a team, and raise funds at walkms.org.
This is ESPN Radio. Joey Votto got that 2,000 hit tonight.
The more I play here, the more I realize how lucky I am.
Victor Cruz, Super Bowl champ.
I just wanted to feel special this morning, guys.
Charlotte Flair, the 13-time WWE champion.
Hey, guys. Alan Faneca, Hall of Fame class of 2021.
I've been waiting, let's do it.
Super Bowl champion Donald Driver.
I love the game. I watch the game more now than I did when I actually played.
Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl champion.
Keyshawn, if I ever stopped yelling at you, then you would think I didn't care.
Terrence Bud Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion.
I just know in my heart that I can beat him.
Cowboys legend and now Hall of Fame wide receiver Drew Pearson.
But now that I'm in Canton, I don't even think I used the airplane to get here.
Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback.
A lot of fun last year, but a lot more room to grow.
Lane Kiffin joins us, Ole Miss head coach.
A big part of my motivation was he, because he sent me pictures when I'm on TV of how fat I am.
ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Got another short segment here with OB on the program. It's the Rollo Insurance Studio, and we're going to go to the BCSI hotline right now. Tay and Campbell wants to talk a little Jimbo with us here on the program. Tay, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. How you guys doing?
Wonderful, well. Man.
Good. Hey, I just commenting on Jimbo's salary and contract. I think we're going to continue to get that treatment, much like Clemson did before they became Clemson, right, with Jimbo. There was a term that was always thrown around called Clemsoning.
Right.
And so you could probably talk to that fan base, and they could probably tell you all about that, right? Now they get the red carpet treatment because they're one of the teams. And then also with the timing of the contract, I think it's genius, because if we have as good a season as we're going to have, or we think we're going to have, later on in the season, they would be asking, hey, what about Jimbo's contract, right? And now it's not a distraction if, in fact, we do perform the way we think we're going to. So just want to give you guys those two thoughts and just see what y'all thought about that.
We appreciate it, Tate. Thanks so much for the phone call. Let me throw this out there, too. We're really just talking about 3 more years. That's it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he had 7 years left. So I think it's more the
amount?
The amount. Because they're already nationally somehow offended that it was $7.5 million. I remember when the price of oil went down, guys like Stu Mandel and Barrett Sallee, well, how we're reveling in that. The fact that how's A&M going to pay for it? Like they don't already have money in the bank. So I think people are somehow offended by that. And they say A&M's trying to buy a championship. Well, Isn't that what everybody does? Everybody pays their coach a lot.
Yeah.
A&M has deeper pockets than most, so we can pay a coach a little bit more, especially if you get the coach that you think is going to be
What's wrong
successful.
with buying a championship if you're doing it legally?
That's what everybody does.
That's the price you pay.
How much was Texas offering Urban Meyer? Wasn't it $10 million?
Yes, it was.
So they were going to
buy a championship.
Right.
Trying to, at least.
They were trying to. And you can and nobody really seemed to be offended by that.
Look, there's only a handful of coaches that have won a national championships around right now. Right. And one of them has won a lot, right? And Dabo would be second place.
And he's won a lot. He's won 2.
He's won a couple. And
maybe 3. I don't know.
I think it's 2. And is it 3?
I don't know.
I think it's
I'd
2.
have to go back and look.
But Jimbo's won 1, and he's building a monster here, right? This is not after a 7-4 season or 7-3 season if you play 10 games. This is after a 9-1 year. Your only loss comes to the team that beat a college football playoff team by the exact same score.
And A&M, when they lost them, second game of the year, when you have a lot of guys like Jalen Jones who were just in their second game.
Yep.
And they had a fully healthy Jalen Waddle and Landon Dickerson. They got Alabama at actually full strength. And I do think if they had had a chance to have a rematch, I do think I still think Alabama would have won because they were the best team in the college football. But I do think the game would have been much more competitive.
Are the Cowboys dumb for paying Dak Prescott when they're paying him? And I'm just thinking of places that haven't won. There's a certain price you pay for a starting quarterback and a price you pay for a coach. That it's just how business and sports works.
It's interesting that I think that's a good point to bring up. Are the Cowboys dumb for paying Dak Prescott? Some people are going to argue that. But then I'm going to say, all right, who do you want quarterbacking? Do you want to go into a season without knowing who your quarterback is or without having a quarterback that has shown that he can win? Do you want to go into a season, hey, we're not going to pay Dak so much, but we're going to have Cooper Rush for a lot less money.
Yep. It's dumb. Or just pay people off to be whatever. Hey, Obi, good first hour. Thank you so much, sir.
It was fun with Liucci.
It was fun with Liucci.
I didn't have to talk very much.
No, he took over. Love when Liucci joins the show. All right, guys, when we come back here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Chris Landry, the Texas A&M scouting report, the former scout. Yeah, he's great. He's going to join us for a long segment. We've got that. And your calls and your text messages, it's going to be a loaded 9 o'clock hour. Open segment at 9:35 if you want to be a part of the show. And 10 o'clock, Bronny and Gabe. Not at the same time. 2 different times. What a 10 o'clock hour. We'll bring it to you all here over the next couple hours on TexAgs Radio.
Start your sports day with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Powered by WC Tractor. Weekday mornings 5 to 8 on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Or just tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150. WC Tractor is your local award-winning Kubota and New Holland dealer. Call them with your questions at 1-888-8-TRACTOR. That's 1-888-8-TRACTOR. Check them out online at WCTractor.com. Rise and shine weekday mornings 5 to 8 with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin from ESPN Radio. Powered by WC Tractor here on the Zone.
Our publications reach every corner of the Brazos Valley, and we want to partner with you in sharing your message with the community. You may recognize a few of our Bryan Broadcasting publications.
Best of the Brazos Valley. Brazos Life, the annual manual. Welcome home, Brazos Valley.
Brazos Family. Brazos Wellness.
Brazos Valley Bride.
Peace, Brazos Christian Life.
With the combined power of 7 magazine titles, 11 radio stations, and digital solutions, Bryan Broadcasting Publications can help you be heard. Call 979-695-9595 to learn more.
Get connected and be in the know with the Zone. Follow us on Twitter at Zone 1150. Like us on Facebook, Zone 1150. Subscribe to our daily newsletter at thezone1150.com. This is KCNE College Station Bryan.
WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. 9/11 marks 4 years since the city of College Station reached an agreement to buy 102 acres of land for a future park off North Dowling Road. Since then, the city and landowners have not been able to agree on the price. That led the city council at its last meeting to pursue eminent domain proceedings. Among the 6 council members voting yes was Dennis Maloney.
Parks are crucial to us. It's just as vital for your community as your police and fire.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Kuhnhoff voted no.
I will use eminent domain when it is needed for a utility. I am not going to use eminent domain to secure parkland.
In September 2017, the council approved a $2.5 million offer. Valuations from the Brazos Central Appraisal District of the 2 parcels totals just over $1 million. Texas A&M's first day enrollment in College Station is almost 67,000, with a freshman class of almost 11,500. Chief Operating Officer Greg Hartman says the freshman acceptance rate is higher than it's been in a while.
I think that's a credit to the university and the reputation we have and the work that faculty and staff are doing here. At some point, is it going to level off? Probably so. But again, if there's a lot of folks that want to be Aggies.
Official fall numbers will be released following the 20th class day. The Burleson County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy is back in the office 2 weeks after he was shot in the jaw.
I'm happy to be alive, of course, and I'm blessed to be healing like I am, and I'm certainly happy to be back to work.
John Pollock's jaw remains wired shut. Pollock sent a news release identifying 2 suspects in an armed robbery earlier this month near Somerville Lake off FM 60 at the Dollar General store. Arrest warrants have been issued for an unidentified 15-year-old and for 18-year-old Jashua Hedge of Houston. Hedge's photo is at WTAW.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at WTAW1620. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Hey parents, when it comes to your child's education, there's a lot to consider. No matter what you're searching for, search the Bryan Broadcasting half-price tuition program first. We've partnered with schools and learning centers throughout the area to get your students started with high-quality programs at half price. Right now, we're featuring half-price tuitions at Happy Camper School, Multilingual Academy, Southwood Learning Center, Kitty Castle, and more. Half-price tuitions are first come, first served, and availability is limited. Go to halfpricebrazos.com.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country. And Aggieland is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Polaris Fun Center, where you can get a $500 rebate on any 450 or 570 Model A TV. Or $2,000 cash back on a Polaris XP1000. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on The Zone.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. Texas A&M is finalizing a 10-year extension with Jimbo Fisher that will make him the second highest paid coach in college football. The story was first reported by Brent Zorneman of the Houston Chronicle. The deal would pay Fisher $9 million annually, putting him behind only Alabama's Nick Saban. Of course, Jimbo and the guys are gearing up for the 2021 season opener against Kent State this Saturday. One of the leaders of the Aggie defense this year is senior safety Leon O'Neal, who says he has matured both on and off the field.
Idolizing myself, I think, a little bit too much, and I start idolizing God more, idolizing my team more, idolizing everything around me more. And it shaped me to be a better man every single day. And so I just want to grow for today. So, like, for example, today I'm living for the day, right? I got to do my books, got to handle schoolwork, I got to do certain things to apply myself within a day. But that's all I've been doing for the past 2 years now, just handling myself a day at a time.
O'Neal has played in every game since arriving on campus 3 years ago. He and the guys will face their first test this Saturday against the Golden Flashes. Now, to get Coach's take, tune into the Jimbo Fisher Coaches Show tonight from 8 to 9 on 1620, 94.5 WTAW. And Aggie volleyball is in California this evening, facing Cal Poly. First serve is at 9 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
The best is yet to come in College Station.
Chase Lane is in for a touchdown! Yes!
Head coach Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies are ready to rise to the top of the SEC.
Swing to Anias, he's in the end zone, a 6-yard reception.
Join us Saturday. The Kent State Golden Flashes visit College Station. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Aggies football.
Listen to Aggie football on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Online at RadioAggieland.com or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Having some fun out there. Rollo Insurance is the official provider of TexAgs Radio. The difference is real. They're an independent insurance company built around educating you on exactly what you're paying for, doing the shopping for you so that you can accomplish all of your insurance goals. Their headquarters right here in College Station on Highway 6. Call 888-44-ROLLO or go to rolloinsurance.com. And with that, we go to the BCSI hotline. We are joined by Chris Landry. It's the Texas A&M Scouting Report here on a Wednesday. Chris, how are you, my friend?
David, doing well. It's game week. Good to get going.
Hey, man, first off, before we really get into the football, just how did you guys come out of the storm? I know it was crazy out there in Ida and South Louisiana. How's everything looking for you and your family and those around you?
Well, we're fortunate. A lot of people, a lot of devastation in the area. Got some damage, may need a new roof and the fence and whatnot. The communication issues been bad, obviously. Internet's been down. I've got backup power. We've got power, but I've got generator power. But the biggest issue is just cell service and internet just not good. And I don't know, may take a while for everything to respond there. So we're kind of patching things as best as we can to try to get through. It's a busy time, as you can imagine, for the work that I do this time of year.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and happy that things are looking good for you. We're talking a lot about Jimbo today with his new deal that should be announced at some point later on today. Just you come from the coaching ranks, the scouting ranks, and whatnot, personnel. Just your thoughts on paying one of the top coaches in college football what I think he should be paid.
Well, I think it's kind of the way things are. If you've got a coach that you believe in, and there's a lot of criticism at times. I mean, you could make the case that like Tennessee really did a foolish thing by extending Jeremy Pruitt just based off of just some positives off the last full year that he was there. So sometimes you can make that mistake, but this is more of a preemptive strike than anything. You've got a head coach in College Station that's a proven coach, a successful coach. And some may say, well, it's not necessary. He's not going anywhere. You never know. I can tell you that's the first phone call that Scott Woodard is going to make at LSU if it doesn't work out for Ed Orgeron. So I think it's a preemptive strike to try to make sure that you've got the guy secured long term, and it's what they want to do. I think that you want to extend it. It extends in years, which years equals money. But he's in a great place. He's making a lot of money, and people would say, well, he's not going to leave. You never know. You never know with coaches. You never know with administrations. You want to make sure that you keep a guy in play, and that's what goes on in these decisions and why these decisions are made. Agree or disagree, that's why it's done. And obviously sometimes it comes back to bite you in the rear. But I think in this case you've got a very good thing going on that they want to make sure that they keep. Not that it was in danger of going anywhere, but you just want to make sure.
We got Chris Landry with us on the BCSI hotline. LandryFootball.com is where you can find all of his information. Chris, so the way Jimbo goes about his business, some people have been critical of the offense not evolving with the times. I'll throw this out there. When you have one of the best backfields in the country and injuries, you kind of have to play a little smash mouth and win games in the fourth quarter. Do you think, though, he needs to evolve, or is it just based on personnel?
Well, Jimbo is a firm believer in the running game, and I don't know that that's going to change a great deal. I think that the offense will look a lot like it looks now, as long as he's there. If there's a setback, if there's would be classified as an underachieving offense on a consistent basis, then you might see him modify things. But he's always been a guy that's been about physicality, setting the running game, protecting the football, and I do think that's the way he's going to be, and I don't see that changing. So the whole evolving, that's not the way Jimbo sees it. That's not what he believes in, and he's going to have to be the one to make that change. And I don't think there's any reason for him to make that change right now, because what he's done is built a program that's at a very high level, and I think it's going to have to take a pronounced amount of setbacks offensively, meaning underachieving, for him to see that significant change is needed. Look, he wants to throw the football. He wants to have success. But the key to success in being able to win at the highest level is the ability to be able to be as functional with a 2-minute offense as well as a 4-minute offense, and vice versa. So you can look at programs like in Oklahoma that has been really good because they're up-tempo, they're good in a 2-minute offense, but they're not good enough in the 4-minute offense, and it hurts their defense. And I think when you can't run both equally as effective, then you fall beneath your ultimate goals. And the ultimate goals for A&M is going to be to kind of take that next step, and you've got to beat an elite program that can do both in Alabama, which effectively runs a 2-minute offense and is explosive, but you've noticed that their defensive numbers haven't been as good when they've done that. Yet they still find a way to be able to run the football because it's equally effective with their power game and closing out teams in the fourth quarter because of their 4-minute offense. So I think that's probably where Jimbo would like to go. But remember that it was Saban that said, I want to go for RPO, and this is Jimbo's baby offensively. So you're kind of having the rest of the baby from the cold hands of the arms of its mama. It's Papa. That's what his DNA is, and his belief of how his offense and how offenses should be run. I don't get any sense that he's interested in changing it or modifying it significantly at this time.
What are your thoughts on Haynes King becoming the starter for Texas A&M? I think the last time we spoke, it was expected, but still TBD. From what you've read about him, seen maybe on film from his high school days, what are your thoughts?
I think he's a very talented young man. I think he's got great dual threat capabilities. I think he'll do a good job. I think the reason why he won the job is because he's going to be able to protect the football better. I think they can use him in the running game a little bit more. And kind of to the point that we just talked about is, as the passing skills of a quarterback may develop, it's about having that great quarterback that can throw the football effectively. And I don't know that right now, although Zach Calzada's got a really strong arm, protecting the football, being as accurate in knowing where to go with the football and in getting it there accurately is probably not where Jimbo wants him at this point. So Haynes is being utilized as someone that, can not only run, but can throw the football effectively. And they're going to really work the in cuts, the tight ends, along with the running game to augment this offense. And I think that's his strength. I've said it before. I think Kellen Mond was a byproduct of the great job that Jimbo does. I don't think he's overly talented, quite frankly, but he had a very productive career, mainly because he was in that system for a long time. You're dealing with a young quarterback in Haynes King. In fact, both of these guys have more ability than Kellen. If they work as hard and under the tutelage of the head coach who's really great with quarterbacks, then I think the future is very good, and I think the short-term future will be pretty good, but it'll get better as time goes along, I think.
So along those lines, the fact that Jimbo has a Caleb Chapman coming back, a vertical threat, how does that open everything else up? And really, I guess, all the skill positions out there, how the transition to SEC football might be a little, I don't want to say easy, but a little easier when you have those kind of playmakers around you.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it starts up front, okay? So the key to being a good passing team is being able to run it. When you can run the football and you can control the line of scrimmage, you're going to force numbers in the box. You're going to have coverage numbers in your favor. Whether you run 2 wides, 3 wides, 2 tights, whatever you run, whatever you can attack in the passing game, you've got less numbers in which to go up against defensively. And when you've got big weapons like Caleb and the tight ends, and as good as any that's in the SEC, blue-grade tight end and Wiedemeyer, you've got real good coverage mismatches. So you can get a lot of one-on-one coverage, and I think that with Anais and Caleb, it's going to be difficult to defend this team, and it's going to be quarterback friendly. And the way you make it quarterback friendly is two things. This is always key. The quarterback's best friend is a running game, one, and two, the best friend in the passing game is being able to have check down options. Backs and tight ends are really easy options that are right in front of the quarterback, so it's easy reads, knowing where to go, and it gives you an outlet. When pressure leaks through, then you've got an option to get rid of the football, and that's the best way to keep the quarterback out of harm's way, and it's what he's done so very successfully throughout his career. Really going back to the days of University of Cincinnati to Auburn to LSU to Florida State, A&M, early in his tenure, he's done a very good job with that. So I think the weapons, the talent on which to be able to work the passing game has gotten better and better, even though they're still young in some spots.
Chris Landry with us here on the BCSI Hotline. Chris, let's talk about DeMarvin Leal getting a lot of first-round hype at this point, maybe even a top 10 pick. What excites you about his game there on the defensive line?
I think he's got great initial quickness. He can shoot his hands very quickly. Plays with heavy hands. I mean, he can really shed blocks very well. He can push the corner. He's a big power guy. He's a short in the corner guy more than he's an edge closer. He's very, very good. He's got loads of potential on the next level. I think he's an outstanding talent who can be a difference-making type guy, and they're starting to get more and more guys that look like him, and that's going to be the key. When you can get guys that look like in numbers like Alabama and LSU, and certainly Georgia over in the East, but that's what the biggest change that I've seen from A&M, from the program that Jimbo inherited to now. It's the quality up front on the offensive and defensive lines, and the depth is starting to get there. They're not quite where they need to be, but they're trending that direction, and that's the impact guys like that you can have replace and put in waves where you've got a rotation of 8 guys that are consistently good. That's the key, and that's what they're trending towards.
So, Chris, the other day, it came to my mind how different this college football season could be because of the amount of super seniors out there. And these are men, right? 6-year players that are men out there taking on sometimes 18, 19-year-old young men. So how do you see super seniors changing the way this season goes? And I think the top of mind, to make this a really long question, is that the Texas game against Louisiana. Louisiana, I think, has the most super seniors in the entire country. How do you see that kind of veteran play helping out teams this year?
Well, I think it's certainly going to help because in some cases, they're seniors, but depends on where you are. Like on the West Coast, some of them didn't play enough games to really. It's almost like a, halfway between junior and senior. The ones that played a lot of games, I think it's certainly going to help. It gives extra experience, and I do believe that programs like ULL and others that are Sunbelt level, they're going to see MAC and AAC, a lot of those level programs, kind of like in basketball, you have the mid-major kind of talk where those programs become really good because the one and dones in major college basketball, you have, the guys that stay 3 and 4 years, where I think you're going to see that a little bit more, to where some of those programs, while they may not be as talented, they can develop very well, the ones that develop very well, and Billy Napier is definitely one of them. When you have guys that can be in the program 3, 4, and 5 years, where you don't have it as much at the SEC level, it's a different game altogether, and it certainly helps. So I think the experience, particularly for them, it's on the offensive line. They've got a quarterback that's physically gifted, a good running back, and an offensive line in ULL that is, I think, top 25 nationally, regardless of conference. So that's a pretty good thing to go into the season with.
Hey, Chris, let's talk a little bit about the other big games going out there. Georgia, Clemson is obviously the one top of mind. Not sure it has any college football playoff implications because of such a long season ahead of them and their schedules. But your thoughts heading into that one?
Well, I really like Georgia, but they've not had a good training camp, a good, off season leading into training camp. Lots of injuries. So I do think that Clemson has had the better of the two in terms of good fortune health-wise. I think the key is going to be the line of scrimmage. It often is, but how well will Georgia's offensive line block that defensive front of Clemson's that may be the best in the country? That defensive line is outstanding and played a bunch. Speaking of playing a lot of guys, they played a lot of young guys last year, and boy, are they good, and boy, are they deep. So that's going to be the key right there. And certainly on the other side of the ball, Georgia defensive front that's outstanding against a Clemson offensive line that struggled by their standards last year. It's going to be the key. I think the quarterback play is going to be good. I do think there's some concerns and some questions about, Georgia's passing attack with the receivers, with the injuries that they've had and the missing pieces. So that's going to be something to watch. But if you can't protect, you can't go vertical. So I think that's going to be the key. And if I had to nail this game down, it would be how well will Georgia be able to control the line of scrimmage offensively. If they're able to do that, they'll win this game. If they don't, then I think Clemson's going to get them. So I think it's going to be a really good game. And to your point, both of these teams are still in it. I think. Look, it's interesting, isn't it? Because if Georgia loses this game, they're going to end up having to beat Alabama in the conference championship game, and that's not easy. So this is a big game for them. And if Clemson loses, they certainly can't lose another game, which I don't think they're going to lose a game, and they don't have as difficult a conference championship game than Georgia would. So, but a one-loss Clemson team that wins the ACC probably still wins it. But, Georgia still has got everything in front of them if they lose this game, and they've got a very favorable schedule. But they're still likely going to have to beat, I think they'll definitely have to win the conference championship game. So it's not a do or die, but it's pretty doggone important, and we're not going to know quite the effect to the end of the year, but I wouldn't want to lose this game and still have to fight my way back in. I think it's going to be tough for the loser. Not impossible, but tough.
Hey, one last one for you. We got about a minute left. Bama, Miami. Is there any way Miami makes this a contest?
It's going to be very difficult. They lost a lot on their defensive front, and I just don't think they're going to hold up against this Alabama defense. I think De'Aaron King's going to have a super game, create outside the pocket. I do think they have a good young tight end that they're replacing Brevin Jordan with, good backs, but consistently moving the football and scoring on Alabama is going to be key. Defensively, it's going to be an equally as tough of a challenge, but maybe this game is not the 50-point type game that Alabama normally gets. Maybe it's more, high 20s, 30s, which would, again, keep the game at least close, maybe somewhere into the third quarter, but I just don't like Miami's chances here. I think Alabama will be not only very well prepared, but they'll be able to run the football. I think they'll have success throwing it. They'll have good balance on offense. And I think the defense is going to really control the game from the defensive front standpoint against Miami's offensive line.
That is Chris Landry, the Texas A&M Scouting Report here on the BCSI Hotline. Check him out at LandryFootball.com. Chris, stay safe, my friend. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thank you so much. Hope we're back to normal next week. Thanks for your patience. Take care.
Yes, sir, Chris. Thank you so much. Great insight into all the games in Texas A&M specifically. Right now, I want to remind you to text radio to 900-900 for your chance to win the Big Friday giveaway, courtesy of our friends at Aggieland Outfitters. And I told you about the hat yesterday. Look, guys, you can see what it says. It says, the hat actually says this. Run the damn ball, and A&M is known for the ability to run the ball. You know that backfield, and you got to go check it out there at Aggieland Outfitters. White cap one size fits all. It's got the logo. It's got it all on there, made out of polyester, giving it the UPF 50-plus protection, comfortable for game days. It's a beautiful-looking hat. You put this on the sidelines. You put this on in the stands, wherever you may be around town. People know you're talking about A&M and that amazing running game, and that's why you want to wear this hat. And also, I got to give them some props. By the way, this hat is valued at $36.98, but they also have the Quattro Ranch freeze-dried orange and Jell-O cream. It is a Cool Whip and a Jell-O mix, and it's combined and freeze-dried for a yummy, unique snack. Check it out, the Quattro Ranch. Hello, Jell-O. Crema. Me gusta mucho. All right, it's TexAgs Radio. We'll be back.
It's TexAgs Radio, weekday mornings from 8 to 11 here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Hello, St. Joseph Eagles fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Jason Bainski Realtor, Lone Star Roof Systems, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski, Kraus Paint and Body, Wings and More, Blinn College, and Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors.
Even though we're currently closed, you can explore the Bush Library and Museum from the comfort of your own home. Visit the museum exhibits, Presidential Pond, Barbara Bush Rose Garden, and more with our virtual tour. Check out our permanent exhibits gallery online to view over 100 new photos showcasing different areas of the museum. View our education page to learn about the newest learning resources for teachers and students, and game apps. Don't forget to follow us on social media to see photos of our traveling exhibits, programs, and updates to the museum. Visit bush41.org for more information.
Did you know that most adults with autism are unemployed, and a major hurdle is the lack of job opportunities? That's why Autism Speaks is teaming up with Lee Container, the J. Donald and Laurel Lee Family Foundation Fund, and Delivering Jobs to create a more inclusive workforce in the U.S. Are you an HR professional, community leader, or business owner? Join us in creating a workforce where people of all abilities can contribute and thrive. To learn more, visit autismspeaks.org/employment.
Furnished by the Entertainment Industry Foundation.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
I'm not really worried about Dak. I'm ready to see this team hit their potential. I want to see it for Dak. Everything that he's been through has made me a fan of Dak Prescott. And to see him get the bag like he deserved, to have all this trade stuff stop, I just want to see it all come together for him and the Cowboys.
It's Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. ESPN Radio. Mornings 5 to 8 on The Zone. Thanks to WC Tractor.
It is TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Got a Coach G coming up at 9:50. Looking forward to chatting with him after their big victory over Clemson. And then in the 10 o'clock hour, Bronny, recruiting country, coming in. We'll see what happens between he and Richard Zane. Richard's been wearing the sunglasses, trying to act like bronze. Hasn't gone well. Also, we'll have Gabe Bach in studio 10:35 for 4 Downs. So a loaded rest of the program, but we got a couple of open segments. If you want to get in on the conversation, we're talking about Jimbo and his new deal. That number, 979-693-1150. You can also text the AMB text line at that same number, 979-693-1150.
Hold on, I'm not good at math. Is 979-693-1150, is that the yearly payment? Or
oh, look at you. Look, see, you're smart. Dalton, you bring it every once in a while. By the way, what's the phone number?
979-693-1150.
Thank you so much. And that is what? The A&B what?
You can hit us up on the A&B text line.
Thank you. I like when
BCSI Associates hotline.
Thank you so much.
We are inside the Rollo Insurance Studio.
Thank you. We are.
He is David Nuño.
And we are presented by
David Gardner's Jewelers.
Thank you. See, look at you. Just a spot machine out there. We appreciate that. So if you guys want to be a part of the conversation, you're more than welcome to do that. Let's now go to Anna Rosa Peterson, who's got a couple text messages for us.
All right. And I like switching it up. I think we should have Dalton do that a little bit more often. Back to our topic, David Edmonds says on Jimbo's extension, it's about time. I don't have a lot of faith in our leadership with how they handled the expansion and allowing that cancer in the SEC, but they got this right. If Jimbo doesn't retire from A&M, I want heads on pikes, not literally. And then we're happy to hear from Jalen's father, Vincent Weidemeyer, who texts in, get your money, Jimbo. You're worth every penny. And then we have a couple news headlines here I want to touch on. Yesterday started the Aggie opener for the Texas A&M men and women's cross-country teams at the Dale Watts cross-country course. The Aggies returned multiple top runners from last year, including the top 5 Aggie finishers from the Southeastern Conference 2020 men's and women's teams. So a lot of excitement there for starting their season. And more in Aggie athletics, the A&M volleyball team prepares to challenge the Cal Poly Mustangs tonight at 9 p.m., first serve at the Mott Athletic Center after concluding their extended season in Hawaii.
Thank you so much, Anna Rosa. Appreciate you. Good stuff there. All right, so we'll do this. We're going to hit a break here in a moment, and we're going to talk more about Jimbo. I also want to talk about the running game. Look, we got Kent State this weekend, guys. And by the way, Chris Landry was phenomenal. Loved having him on the show. We'll have him every Wednesday here for the remainder of the college football season as we get started this week. But this running game is... I'm excited to see what they can do for multiple reasons. We know how good they were last year. But I think the full schedule, and I'm talking like from a statistics standpoint, what are we going to see from Isaiah? Like, are we going to get 1,500 yards? I think OB told me yesterday he thought he was going to take the over on that. And with Anias, and with, I mean, how many other people can you talk about? Like, the whole team is stacked, literally stacked. And I am pumped about what they're going to be able to do. And again, when they take on Kent State this upcoming weekend, we're going to see a little bit of everything, right? We're going to be able to see a little bit of everything, and it's going to be on display for the Aggies. And when you look at what Spiller has done at A&M here in the 2 years, almost 2,000 yards rushing, right? 946 his first season. Last year, 1036. Just the ability to put the ball on the ground and just go to work. Just excited to see what they're able to do there with them. And obviously, A-Chain, his speed around the edge. So we'll talk a little bit about their running game along with all the other pieces out there and continue our conversation when it comes to Jimbo and this new contract that should be done here in a moment. But right now, I want to talk about your smile. Wherever you're at, you have your phone on you, take a look at it. Like, do the flip camera thing, look at your smile. Is it good? Is it bad? In front of a mirror, take a look. Driving, look in the rear view mirror. If it's not good, guess what time it is? Time to call Dr. Elms and Dr. Stewart. That's right on the bypass of College Station. And many of you have got kids at home that are in those preteen years or teenage years, and there's some crowding, and the smile just isn't right, and they're just self-conscious about it. Just call them up. Get a free consultation. You're going to love what you hear from them. They got Invisalign. They've got a great reputation. Dr. Elms has been around here forever, right? And I mean that in the nicest way. Class of 86, mainstay in our community over 30 years, 16-time best of the Brazos winner. You also have Dr. Stewart, class of 03. Those two guys together bringing it. Get that free consultation today, 1501 Emerald Parkway in College Station. And the phone number for Elms Orthodontics, 979-693-6300, or learn more online at drelms.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. BCS Habitat for Humanity is hosting its annual Tees for Keys golf tournament Monday, September 13th at the Traditions Club. Tickets are online at habitatbcs.org. The Brazos Valley Council of Governments announces an Alzheimer's Dementia Caregiver Support Series running through September 14th. Classes are free. Find more information online at bvcog.org. The Brazos Valley Beekeepers Association invites you to one-day bee school on Saturday, September 25th. Visit bvbeaks.org for more information. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. You can hear Aggie football take on Kent State starting this Saturday at 6 here on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Join Andrew Monaco, Dave Almendorf, and Will Johnson all season long for Aggie football here on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
If you own construction equipment and need custom hydraulic hoses, get 10% off at WPI. WPI also has the best price in town for DEF at $8.50 for 2.5 gallons. Regardless of your machine's make or model, WPI can help. From O-rings and teeth, buckets and blades, any part for every brand of equipment is at your local WPI. Visit Jesse James at WPI's new location in Bryan, Highway 21 East at Marino Road, or click WPI.com.
The wait is over. This Friday, Bryan Broadcasting and the Nikki Peterson Talent Network present Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli.
So you guys, yes, I am a member of the Mommy Mafia. I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a good one.
Don't miss Hollywood's favorite clean comedian, Carrie Pomeroli, live in College Station this Friday, 7 p.m. at Skybreak Church. Bring your friends, bring a date, bring anyone who's ready for a good time.
You guys, who's happy just to be out of the house? Really? Right.
Save money and purchase your discount tickets online now at BryanBroadcasting.com. Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli this Friday. Presented by Nikki Peterson Talent Network. Be discovered. Thanks in part to our sponsors: Strata Auto Repair, Mark's, Manny's Appliance Repair and Cleaning Service, Dirt Road Rustics Furniture and Home Decor, Buff City Soap, Soap Makery, and Longway Home Adoptables. Tickets, VIP, and group packages on sale now at BryanBroadcasting.com.
Listening to The Zone on your Amazon Dot or Echo is easy. Even Louie figured it out. 2 simple steps, and you can hear Chip Howard Sports Talk, TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, and many of your favorite A&M teams anytime, anywhere with your special friend, Alexa. Step 1, and only one time, say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Then anytime you want to hear your favorite host or teams, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Zone 1150. Make sure to set it all up and say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill, and listen in anytime just by saying, Alexa, play Zone 1150.